ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नित्यानंद नमस्तुभ्यं प्रेमानंद प्रदायिने कलौकल्मषनाशाय जानवापतये नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुसे नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for today's discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are discussing from chapter 2 and verse number 48. Yogistha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhayo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. Yogistha kuru karmani, while being situated in yoga. Yoga means in connection with the Supreme. In connection with the Supreme means remembering and always being conscious of the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In that consciousness, one should perform his activities. In simple words, we can say Yogestha Guru Karmani means one should perform his activities being Krishna conscious. That everything belongs to Krishna, everything is sanctioned by Krishna, and all help, whatever we are able to do, all the resources is being supplied by Krishna, and hence everything belongs to Krishna. The results must be offered back to Krishna. The one who knows these things and accepts these things and acts according to this, he is a person who is performing Yogistha Kuru Karmani. While being situated in yoga, he is performing actions. In this way, he can become free from Sangam, his attachment, and he will not be affected by Siddhi or Siddhi, success or failure. And that is actually the definition of yoga. Who is a yogi? This is the meaning of yogi. So Krishna tells Arjuna that he should act in yoga. Krishna is telling Arjuna that you should act in yoga. And what is that yoga? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme by controlling the ever-disturbing senses. Senses are, the nature of the senses are ever-disturbing. So we should take it for granted that as long as we are in this material world, so senses and mind and senses are going to be to disturb us. It is going to remain ever disturbing. So one should not attempt to artificially. One should not do so. Of course, we have to do, but artificially one should not attempt to control one's mind and senses. Artificial control will always be a failure. One cannot be successful in controlling the mind and senses artificially. But one can do so, means one can control mind and senses completely by acting in yoga. Yoga means by acting, by concentrating the mind upon the Supreme. Or in simple words, by acting with Krishna consciousness. One who is conscious about Krishna, she can fully control the senses. So what is this consciousness? We have discussed it many times. Means the conscious of something or somebody means that whatever you do throughout the day, all the time, whether while sleeping, eating, acting, if you remember somebody, that means you are conscious about that particular person. Just like, for example, When a young boy, he gets attached to a young girl, or young girl is attached to a young boy. So both of them, they become conscious of each other, even if they are not physically present, uh, but they may be living far away from each other. But both of them, they they remember each other's activities, each other's the way they talked, the way they spent their days sometimes before. So they remember this. They are conscious about this while eating, while talking, while working, and while sleeping also. And as soon as they get up, immediately the remembrance comes back again. So this is called consciousness. Similarly, but this is material consciousness, which leads us towards suffering. But similarly, a devotee who is Krishna conscious, he develops such nice, wonderful consciousness in purest form for Krishna. In material world, one develops consciousness for somebody, one becomes attached to somebody. The only reason, although it may be very not, it may not be easy to understand, and I know not everyone is going to accept this, but this is a fact. Today or tomorrow, you'll understand if you continue to exude your sadhana bhakti by chanting Hare Krishna. As you become more attached to Krishna, then you can understand. But right now, I'm just stating it and just hear it. In this material world, if we develop attachment for anybody, the only impetus or only motivation or only desire is to enjoy our senses. That's all. There is nothing else, either grossly or subtly. This is the only thing in this material life. That is why it is called, in this material world, only lust exists, no love. The real love exists only in Krishna consciousness. So when one becomes Krishna conscious, so he is conscious of Krishna in pure platform. And even if somebody, because of lack of spiritual knowledge and because of dirty heart, even if somebody becomes conscious of Krishna impurely, so but he cannot remain impure for longer time. He will eventually become completely pure. That is the potential of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is so powerful because Krishna is supremely pure. So anybody who comes in contact with him, anybody who becomes attached to him, conscious of him, even if in the beginning he is conscious or attached to Krishna with some sense gratification motivation, he wants to get something from Krishna, still, because of being conscious of Krishna, his heart, his consciousness gets purified, and eventually he becomes Krishna conscious in purest form. Uh, but on the other hand, in material world, if somebody is attached or conscious of somebody else other than the Supreme Lord, then even if in the beginning one is becoming attached to somebody with pure motivation, but the end result is that it eventually ends up in sense gratification activity. But in Krishna consciousness, the opposite happens. Just like Kubja, so when Lord Krishna and Balram they came from Vrindavan to Mathura for attending wrestling arena of Kamsa. So on the way, both of them they met Kubja, an old lady, hunchback, hunchback lady. She was carrying very nice sandalwood paste for smearing it over the body of Kamsa. She was engaged as his maid servant. But as soon as he saw Krishna Balram on the way, they were coming from on the way in front. So seeing the beautiful form of Krishna Balram, she got attracted immediately. And her attraction was not spiritual in the beginning. That was material. She felt lusty desires. She wanted to enjoy Krishna. And she proposed. But Krishna Balram, they understood what is her intention. And Krishna is very merciful. Understanding her intention, Krishna also uh, talked in such a nice manner uh, in order to, what you can say, in a flirting manner, a little bit in a flirting manner. You can read it. This is entire story. Very interesting story is there. In Krishna book, you can read chapter number, I think, 40, 41. So Krishna also, she told her that, my dear beautiful one, Krishna told like this. Although she was very ugly, old woman and hunchback, but Krishna told, my dear beautiful lady, uh, so this sandalwood paste, we are the only personality who deserve your sandalwood paste. So kindly this smear it over our body, and immediately she took all the sandalwood paste and smeared it over the body of Krishna Balram personally. She did, just like yesterday was Akshay Tritiya. So devotees, they smeared the sandalwood paste over the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord deities. Similarly, she also did this. And Krishna, being very pleased with such service, she immediately touched her and made her a very beautiful young girl. Uh, She became very beautiful young girl. Then she immediately wanted to take Krishna with her at her home so that she can enjoy. But Krishna told that, I'll surely come because I have certain business to complete. So I'll come back to you. I'll, I'll kill some of the demons here and then I'll come. So after killing Kamsa, Krishna again came and visited her house. But as soon as she carried the lotus feet of Krishna and put those lotus feet on her breast, immediately all lusty desires vanished, and she became completely purified of all this impurity and became a 100% pure devotee of Krishna. And she started crying, lamenting that she was approaching Krishna with such nasty desire. But Krishna, being very merciful, he accepted her. In this way, she became one of the, means just like queens of Dwarka. So that is the potential of Krishna consciousness. Anyone who comes in contact with the Supreme Lord, even if in the beginning he has some material desires to get from the Supreme Lord, still Bhagavat advises such person that akamo sarva kamo va moksha kamo dharati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeda purusham param. Even if you have so many material desires to fulfill, still you should approach Krishna only. You should not keep anybody else within your heart. Remove everyone else and just approach Krishna. Krishna is very merciful. He can fulfill all your desires and eventually he can purify it completely. So that is the potential of Krishna consciousness. And this is what means Yogistha Kuru Karmani. But Yogistha Kuru Karmani means to become conscious of Krishna favorably. Anukulena Krishna. That is Uttam Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti. That is Shuddha Bhakti. But Kama Dveshat Bhaya, that is also mentioned. But in other ways also, if somebody is not favorably conscious of Krishna, unfavorably also, so he also gets the benefit. Kamad, that is the verse Narada speaks. Kamad, Bhayat, Dveshat. I don't know. Rugal Baba couldn't search it. Kamad, Bhayat, Dvesh. Narada says that I don't remember exact verse. Bhayat, Kamsa. Bhayat, Kamsa. 7:131. गोप्या कमाद्भयात् कंसो द्वेषाच्चैदादयो नृपा सम्बन्धाद् वृष्णय स्नेहाद् यूयं भक्त्या वयं विभु. Narmuni says, my dear King Yudhishthira, the gopis by their lusty desires, Kamsa by his fears, Shishupal and other kings by envy, the Yadus by their familial relationship with Krishna, you Pandavas by your great affection for Krishna, and we, the general devotees, by our devotional service, have obtained the mercy of Krishna. In this way, Krishna's mercy is achieved by different people in different ways, but the end result is the same. But the best form of worship of Krishna is that one gets attached to him with no material desire, only just for the sake of serving him, giving him full satisfaction and happiness. So this is what is the meaning of yogistha kuru karmani. So yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the supreme by controlling the ever disturbing senses. So this is one thing that one should engage his ever disturbing senses in satisfying the senses of the supreme. If one can do this, then his ever disturbing senses will not act upon him unfavorably. Until the time once all the senses are not engaged completely in serving the Supreme Lord. Another way is till the time we have this material body, that mind and senses will keep coming to us with some distracting notification, distracting thoughts. But Srila Prabhupada said one should ignore the mind's such distracting thoughts, considering oneself to be transcendental to mind and senses. One should not go along with the feelings or desires or dictations of the mind and senses. When the mind and senses dictates us something other than something unfavorable to Krishna consciousness, so we should not act upon it, understanding that these are the dictations of mind and senses, not required for me. I am aloof from this. So this is that. And who is the Supreme? Yoga means to concentrate the mind upon the Supreme. And who is the Supreme? The Supreme is the Lord, and because he himself is telling Arjuna to fight, Arjuna has nothing to do with the results of the fight. Gain or victory are Krishna's concern. Our only concern is to concentrate ourselves fully on executing the will of the Supreme. And Supreme Lord is Krishna. So, Siddhi Asiddhi, gain or victory, has means the Krishna, it is Krishna's concern, not ours. Our only concern is to do it for Krishna. Arjuna is simply advised to act according to the dictation of Krishna. The following of Krishna's dictation is real yoga, and this is practical in the process called Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up the sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness, which alone can help one to act in yoga. So this is the meaning of yogistha kuru karmani. Being situated in yoga, one must perform activities, and when one performs his activities being situated in yoga, then he can become free from all the disturbances of mind and intelligence, mind and senses. And what is the meaning of acting in yoga? The meaning is that one should act in Krishna consciousness, and the meaning is that one should become the servant of Krishna or the servant of Krishna, which is more easy. To become servant of Krishna is difficult. Those whose hearts are not purified, practically they cannot become servant of Krishna, because Krishna's demands are too much. Krishna demands sarva dharman parityajya. Who can do this? But Krishna's servant, they dovetail the propensity of a conditioned soul in such a manner that gradually the conditioned soul can also become servant of Krishna. So it is easy to act as a servant of Krishna. That is the right way to discharge duty in Krishna consciousness. And this, which alone can help one to act in yoga. This is the only method by which one can act in yoga. If somebody is practicing some kind of yoga with no connection with the Supreme Lord Krishna, then he is actually not practicing yoga. He is living in hallucination. Hallucination means in his own illusion. He is thinking like that he is doing yoga, but there is no yoga. Yoga means connection with the Supreme Lord must be established. Otherwise, there is no meaning to yoga. So Arjuna is a Kshatriya, and as such, he is participating in the Varnashram Dharma institution. It is said in the Vishnu Puran that in the Varnashram Dharma, the whole aim is to satisfy Vishnu. No one should satisfy himself as is the rule in the material world, but one should satisfy Krishna. In this material world, everyone means everyone. is only working for his own sense satisfaction, uh, either grossly, directly, or indirectly, subtly. Everyone is just aiming to satisfy his own mind and senses. But the Vishnu Puran says the aim of Varnashram Dharma is to satisfy Vishnu. Nate Swartha Gatim Hi Vishnu. Bhagavad also says this. Gatim Hi Vishnu. So to satisfy Lord Vishnu is the goal of the living entities. But they do not know this. Nate Vidu. Vidu means they do. They know. Na Vidu. They do not know the ultimate aim is to satisfy Vishnu. And what they do? Bhairarthamanina. Nate Vidu Swartha Gatim Hi Vishnu. Durashaya ye Bhairarthamanina. पुनः पुनः चर्विता चर्वणानाम अदांत गोभीर विशताम सम्मिश्रम अदांत गोभी being unable to control their senses, mind and senses, vishatam tamishram, they fall down, glide down towards hellish condition of life. In this way, they are just entangled in punah punah sarvita charvananam, chewing the chewed, this material existence, whatever sense pleasure is there, it's just like chewing the chewed. Means if you one chew sugar cane and then when the remnant and again one tries to chew the remnants, what taste you will get? No taste. Similarly, all sense pleasure in this material world is like this. But those who are knowledgeable, they know the ultimate goal is to satisfy Vishnu. So unless one satisfies Krishna, one cannot correctly observe the principles of Varnashram Dharma. Means one cannot correctly be known as a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or even Shudra also. Because the ultimate aim of Varnashram Dharma is to satisfy Krishna. So indirectly, Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told. This is the meaning Krishna is telling here. That you should act as I am telling you to act. Okay. So in this way, in this verse, Krishna told, Yogestha Kuru Karmani. And in this way, you should become free from attachment, free from the effect of this Siddhi Asiddhi, abandoning all attachment to success and failure. And then Krishna will instruct, Durena hi avaram karma. You should remain away from avaram karma, abominable action. What is that abominable action? We'll discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. If you have any question, you can ask. Hare Krishna.